Recording has started now. It's just an FYI for everyone. So let me tell you a little more about KAPNA. So KAPNA brings together doctorate level students and graduates from Kazakhstan who are studying or pursuing careers in the United States or Canada. Our mission is to create a supportive community that champions education, research, and collaboration, while also celebrating the shared experiences and backgrounds of our members. We now have over 100 members spread across the continent, and you can learn more about our work and events on our website, www.kapna.org. We also aspire to give back to the community and promote the values of education, science exploration, and technological development. So with this in mind, we applied and were awarded the Muskie Fellowship Grant to implement a small community impact project, which enabled us to organize today's conference. We have 4 exciting sessions lined up today, each focusing on important topics. We encourage you to attend all of them. You should have received Zoom links for each session via email, and they will be shared in the chat as well. So moving on. Now I'm thrilled to officially open the conference and kick off our first panel session, which is organized by the Kazakh International Science and Technology Association. Founded in 2024 by Ghalibjan Isabekov, a PhD candidate at Charité in Berlin, the association connects a diverse network of scientists, educators, graduate students, and professionals from academia, industry, and entrepreneurial fields. The association's president, Professor Dr. Serik Meirmanov, who is here on the call, leads its mission to strengthen the intellectual and cultural ties of the Kazakh scientific community worldwide, fostering collaboration and innovation. So the words of collaboration and community, you've heard it many times today. So, and that's pretty much what we do here at KAPNA and what KISS does across the world. So today's session, the first one, titled From Promise to Practice, Evolving Landscape of Science in Kazakhstan, will be moderated by a freshly minted Dr. Aya Yespolatova, who earned her PhD at the National Institute of Genetics, Sokendai, in Japan. So I'll turn the microphone to Dr. Yespolatova now. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us today. We've got an exciting day ahead.
Thank you, Anyar, for introducing us. Let me share a screen. Just a moment. Do you see my screen? Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the opening session of the KAPNA conference. How do you feel today? Please share your emoji that describes best your mood in the chat. It is truly an honor to moderate this panel discussion organized by the Kazakh International Science and Technology Association. Before we begin, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to the KAPNA team for introducing us and providing this fantastic platform for meaningful dialogue. Today, we bring together an incredible lineup of speakers to address the topic that has a significant impact for the future of our country. From promise to practice, evolving landscape of the science in Kazakhstan. Let me introduce our esteemed panelists, Professor Dr. Serik Meirmanov. Serik Meirmanov is a Dean of Academic Affairs at the Ritsumeikan Asia-Pacific University, Japan. With expertise spanning brain science and public health, he holds a medical degree from Semipalatinsk State Medical Academy, Kazakhstan, and completed his PhD and postdoctoral studies at Nagasaki Medical School, Japan. Professor Murat Saparbaev is a professor and head of the DNA repair and carcinogenesis Laboratory at the Gustave Roussy Institute in France. A leading expert at DNA repair mechanisms and a driving force in creating international research and professional development opportunities for students and postdocs from Kazakhstan. And finally, Professor Dr. Khonir Shergaliyev, an assistant professor at Nazarbayev University, Kazakhstan, a former Vice Minister of Science and Higher Education, where he played a key role in advancing Kazakhstan's science and education sectors. This session will consist of a panel discussion followed by a Q&A session. I encourage all of you to type your questions into the chat during the panel discussion. We'll review them and address as many as possible at the end. Now, let's begin. I'm gonna stop sharing so you can see our panelists. And I'm gonna first address the question to Khonir Shergaliyev. Professor Khonir Shergaliyev, I'd like to start with you. The Kazakh government has launched ambitious initiatives, including establishing branches of renowned foreign universities in Kazakhstan, aiming to create a globally competitive research ecosystem. From your experience in spearheading transformations in Kazakhstan academic landscape, what do you think about these initiatives? Are they meeting the needs of young professionals starting or returning to research careers in Kazakhstan? And what are the key challenges that we need to address to ensure these efforts lead to tangible outcomes?
Thank you very much, Aya. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. And Dr. Murat Saparbaev, Dr. Serik Meirmanov. Yes, indeed, Kazakhstan is now aiming to build an academic hub in the Central Asia. And this was actually the vision of the president, Mr. Tokayev. I remember sitting at the meeting with the German delegation and German chancellor, and then Mr. Tokayev shared his vision about Central Asia as an educational and research hub where countries, neighboring countries in the region, the young people and young talents will be able to come to Kazakhstan and have access to the best education according to best international standards. And as for now, thank you for sharing the map. This is the map developed by the Minister of Science and Higher Education. The minister, current minister, also already has presented it, planning to open at least, I think, already about 30, something around 30 universities, branches or double degree programs in Kazakhstan. And when I was a vice minister, I was personally involved in this process. I was involved in opening the the program with the University of Arizona at the Petropavlovsk, together with the Saparbaev University, and then Heriot Watt University at the Jubanov University in Aktobe, and others as well. And one of the things I can say in terms of the opportunities for the our younger talents and researchers who emerging researchers in Kazakhstan and abroad who perhaps would like to consider coming back to Kazakhstan. I think these opportunities are really great in terms of opportunities to develop themselves as a scientist and actually realize themselves back home, in Kazakhstan. For instance, one of the requirements that ministries have for these international partners is that at least 30% of the faculty members should be from abroad. But what does it mean? It means that 70% of the faculty members should be from Kazakhstan, okay? But another requirement is that the educational programs should be up to their standards, international standards. What means that the faculty members should be able to speak English, teach in English, and do the research up to that international standards. This opens up a lot of opportunities for the local researchers and those who perhaps abroad, like you guys, would like to come back to Kazakhstan. And because you're already up to those standards, you know language, you know how to do the research, how to teach in English as well. So that's why, I mean, this is a really great opportunity, once in a time opportunity for Kazakh and the other, like, I mean, the young people to have this education in Kazakhstan without going abroad. And also for you guys, young emerging researchers and teachers at university, to come home, to be home and make it this, be a part of this historical moment right now. Just recently, I talked to the people who are opening a university in Kazakhstan together with KAIST University from Korea. You know that they're planning to open KAIST, Kazakhstan Institute of Science and Technology. And that university will be, according to fully KAIST standards. I mean, everything just will be like copy-pasting from Korea, okay? And those people ask me if I know anyone in engineering who like with the Western education, I mean the international education, and would like to be part of their team. I mean, you see already those people, those folks are looking for people abroad. When we speak about challenges, I think one of the challenges is that many of those universities who are now coming to Kazakhstan, many of them are teaching universities, okay, and not really research-intense universities. I know, for example, the Demonfort Leicester in Almaty, and then other universities like, I mean, they still Arizona University. I mean, it's good in terms of research, but as for now, what they do in Kazakhstan, they teach. They have teaching programs, and so that's why the profile of those people who are needed now are more teaching ones, but we have other universities who are looking for people with the research skills as well, and providing those opportunities, like, you know, as a KAIST is the future. Hopefully, their main focus is research. This is what they declare from very beginning. I mean, the Coventry University also, although they will have a huge part of the function is teaching, but they also declare that the research will be one of the main parts and emphasis. Well, I mean, I can talk a lot about that, but overall, I believe that there are a lot of opportunities for the young researchers. And one of the more things I want to mention is that the Ministry of Science and Higher Education, the overall the government now allocated a lot of funding to research, and one of the main requirements is that to have international collaborations, and all those, you know, the proposals and the requirements are up to international standards. And unfortunately, we don't have many researchers who are familiar with the international standards, how to do research, how to publish. And you guys are the best, I mean, best match, the best people to do it. We have like, you know, Jaz Ghalam projects, like postdoc projects, and then other like grant funding programs where they require international faculty members. I mean, you can be as a local, but then you have connections, and, you know, the universities are very happy to will be very happy to have you on board. But of course, I mean, since it's Kazakhstan, you need to know people, you need to be in touch with them. You should have these collaborations. You cannot just stay there and say, okay, guys, include me in a project. I'm the best, like, okay. I think there are a lot of opportunities for you to be part of these initiatives, but you need to be, you know, somehow involved in Kazakhstan and what's going on here. At least come to on summer vacations or winter vacations, meet people, talk to people, try to get in touch, go to conferences, and I think it will work out well for you. Well, that's all from me as for now. I know we don't have much time, but I'm open to any questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Khonush Ergaliyev, for sharing these great initiatives and the challenges that are still present in our research environment in Kazakhstan. I would like to shift our focus to the specific opportunities that are present in Kazakhstan. Professor Murat Saparbaev Professor Saparbaev, let's shift our focus to creating international opportunities for young researchers from Kazakhstan. You have a vast experience working in France, and you have mentored numerous students and postdocs. How can we create and sustain pathways for Kazakh students and professionals to gain research experience abroad, while also creating, enriching the local academic landscape back home? For instance, how can we use international internships, postdoc programs, or inviting global experts to lecture in Kazakhstan, and how it play a role in achieving this?
So again, hello everybody. You see my slides, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, great. So you see, this is my laboratory back in 2007, I guess, yeah? 2007, it was 70 years before. I have with 4 Kazakhs, with Murat who visited my laboratory, worked for 3 years, Arman Kulyasov here, Dakhsılık Masalimov, and Ulugбек Kairov. Ulugбек Kairov now is the head of the DNA sequencing department in Saparbaev University. Bigbulat Hasenov is head of biotechnological laboratory, and Arman Kulyasov is head of proteomic platform, and Dakhsılık Masalimov working in Eurasian University. All of them come thanks to creation of National Center of Biotechnology. So National Center of Biotechnology was created in 2006. It was a lot of money investing, and it was head of this, director of this NCB was Ramankulov. He initiated program of international exchange, and he sent his PhD, not PhD, but he sent already Kazakh scientists who had a PhD degree abroad to Japan, to North America, and to Europe. So I had 3 of them here. We worked for 3 years in my laboratory. We learned bioinformatics, proteomics, and biochemistry, all common methods used. And they published with me papers and returned back to National Center of Biotechnology. And now we have their own laboratories, you see. So how I did created this collaboration network, you see, as Juanish told you that you should try to come to Kazakhstan sometimes, yeah, better each year, and contact people, local people, and create some relationships. And so I did the same, because I graduated from Kazakh State University in Soviet time, and then I defend my PhD thesis in Novosibirsk in ex-USSR, yeah. And every year, because I was advantaged by the geography, because Europe is quite close to Kazakhstan and to Russia. You have only 6 hours flight from Paris to Astana or Almaty. You see, it's not like in North America or Japan. So I use this advantage, and also price of tickets was low. And I use this opportunity, and I installed very good connections with Kazakh University, Al-Farabi, of course. I made a good connection with National Center of Biotechnology in Astana and Eurasian Gumilev University. And starting from 2010 and late in 2013, I also created a very good relationship with Nazarbayev University with the help of Kanat Abdullayevich Baigarian. You see, every time it helps. And actually, I have 3 mirror laboratories in Kazakhstan. One in NCB, another in Almaty, Kazakh National University, and third one in Nazarbayev University with Bahit Matkarimov. So just want to show you these 3 guys. They came with the 3 years fellowship, thanks to help of Yerlan Ramankulov. This is 2016 photo, you see. Here I have Umit Aliaskarova, yes. She came to Europe because she was thinking whether to go to Japan or Europe. Finally, she got some fellowship. I think it was Abba-Invern fellowship for master degree. She entered the master degree to Europe with this fellowship, and she came to me to make a laboratory internship. So she was taking course in Paris University, and after taking these courses, she had 6 months laboratory internship, you see. And she did a nice, what is one of the really good career, what Umut did. During 6 months, we did a very nice work on cancer resistance mechanism. And she got the French PhD fellowship for 3 years, see, for 3 years. And she did a very nice work in my laboratory. She's from Almaty, Umut Askarova, yeah. She defended her PhD thesis after only 3 years, you see, work with this. And now she is working as a postdoc in a very good laboratory in UK, Sussex, I think Sussex University. This is here, Aigerim Kwambai. She came also a Abba-Invern fellowship, but she came already to do PhD. If Umut comes to master, but Aigerim Kwambai came from Kazakh University to do PhD. And she also defended, but her defense was made in Kazakhstan. And it's with one of the Meirmanov lab where Professor Amangilde Bisimbayev created this laboratory, let's say from the scratch, yeah. And now he is doing nice work. And Aigerim Kwambai with me, we had a very interesting project on studying DNA repair in plants, you see. What else? I think I had also students from this Jiger and other Sailau. So every year I have many students coming from Kazakhstan. Sorry, just to show you my laboratory. You see, people, many Kazakh faces. You see, yeah, here, yeah, we have Aigerim. I have Diana Manapkazı. She is going to defend her thesis, also fellowship Abba-Invern fellowship, and Aigerim Kwambai also came with Bolashak fellowship for 1 year. And what else? Yeah.
Murat, can I just jump in?
Sure.
Yes. Well, I'm looking at your amazing pictures. I noticed two points. The first one, that you didn't change. You are the same.
No, I had mustache.
The only thing changed is in your mustache. The next point which I noticed, that anyone who took picture with you, so they probably would appear on your lectures. So I think it's very nice opportunity to join your laboratory. By the way, I'm wondering, so just to change a little bit topic of your talk, so maybe PhD students are wondering what sort of collaboration or maybe internship or PhD opportunity it's possible, well, besides that programs which has been there. So maybe I think current students there may be thinking about some opportunities in France.
Okay, as I mentioned recently with Abba-Invern fellowship, which offers a good opportunity to make a joint PhD program between France and Kazakhstan, of course, and Bolashak, it offers you 1 year of internship research. And I think you don't need to be a PhD student or PhD. It's open for everywhere. And another opportunity is usually from my labs. My labs, or my Kazakh collaborator usually participate in grant application in Kazakhstan. It's Ministry of Education, or it could be Nazarbayev University. You have this grant system we call RAW. So if you get money for funding money, you can send a researcher, yeah, like I don't see here Sabira Taipakova. She comes twice a year for 40 days. She's doing teaching in Kazakh State National University, Al-Farabi, but she has a grant from Ministry of Education and Science, yeah, and she has opportunity to come for 40 days, twice 40 days a year, you see, to work, to do some, and she can also do, it's in collaboration, of course, it's collaboration, same Sailawa Bildenov, yeah, I think. She also get grant from MON, and she sent me students 2-3 months per year. We come and we do collaborative work. And what is good in my collaboration with Kazakhstan, you see that we continue to work in Kazakhstan, because you see conditions in Kazakhstan are not very easy to, especially you need, in some places you need to start from zero, you see, to create from zero, and it takes time. And in NCB or Kazno or Nazarbayev, we already have lab spaces. What is good that we can continue we work in collaboration with me way in Kazakhstan. And some complicated stuff, we can come to my laboratory and finish it. So what is important in science is a publication, you see. Everybody is looking for publication. So this collaboration between me and Kazakhstan offers to this student and postdocs and PhD students do a nice work and publish, and then we can do career. I had actually interesting things. I had the ARAO, huge ARAO grant in 2014. I got in Nazarbayev University, and there was three students, Janat Kashenov, Aybek Mursalimov, and Ildar Baikin, you see. So we just came as an internship. We paid by this RAO, and we did internship. But finally, what we did from this Nazarbayev students usually do this. For example, students from NCB or Almaty, we don't do this. After all of three of them, we looked for PhD fellowship in North America. So we went to North America. We quit Nazarbayev, and now we are working in America. You see?
Murat, sorry, may I also ask another question? I'm sorry to jump in.
Yeah.
Is it okay? Yes. So in a picture, you showed that your students who came to your laboratory, so many of them now become leaders of centers and laboratories in Kazakhstan. Could you tell us a secret? How? So everyone is joining your laboratory, become a leader, or are you having some management courses? What is the secret?
No, the secret. You see, here it was, as I told you, it was 2007. So it's 70 years past, you see. The secret, you see, it's of course you need time. You cannot become immediately a leader, yeah? The secret is to have, to perform a nice project, to take a project and publish, you see. If you got a publication and you got experience, yeah, and you know how to do the work and get publication, we learned in my laboratory how to organize the research process, yeah, how to write a scientific paper, how to, what is the most important in research, how to question, how to construct the question. If the problem solution start from the right question. So you need to pose the right question, and then you start to try to answer it, yeah? But at the end, you need results, and results should be always done in publication. As soon as you publish, then is the basis of your career. If you don't publish...
How many papers do you think it's necessary to publish in order to get a good position? in Kazakhstan?
For example, for UMIT, yeah, we published a paper in scientific report on resistance of cancer cells to cisplatin, yeah. It was not high impact journal, but she was the first author. She was the first author, and she did this work as a PhD student in 3 years. In Europe, many students defend without publication, actually, and she was one of rare one which succeed to get a publication in 3 years as a first author. And then she gets a postdoc position, very good, in good laboratory, you see. Usually laboratory appreciate if PhD student has at least one publication first author, you see. This is very important for starting. Then second etap, when you are postdoc, you see, when you are postdoc, the best way is to publish somewhere in a good impact journal, you see, to do nice PhD career. First, it's a laboratory where you are working. If you get, for example, of course, if you get 10 good publication in high impact journal in 5 years of postdoc, you may apply for position in France, for example, but it's very hard to do.
Yes, Murat, I also will. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm sure that you are not only great scientist, you are a great teacher, because like look, anyone, almost everyone who take a picture with you, they become high position. So by the way, I have another question to Cornish, who are also here, because he also has a great experience. And now he's also very active. He's still continuing to working with many colleagues. He's traveling abroad, and he's trying to input his efforts in order to provide opportunity for other colleagues from other countries. So Cornish, could you tell to our guests, so which specifications, like which characteristics our students or doctors, PhD doctors or postdoctors need in order to have a good position in Kazakhstan? So, is it like they need to have some sort of publications, or do they need to have some sort of managerial skills, communication skills, in your opinion?
Thank you, Serik, very much. I just want to say it's not about what you know, it's more about who you know, okay, guys? In Kazakhstan. Well, it's a joke, guys, but still, I mean, the Serik mentioned very important skill, the communication skills. Okay, guys, the in emotional intelligence, you should work on that. It's very important in Kazakhstan. But of course, research skills, we have the scientific community is really hunger for researchers like you guys, the real people who really knows how to do research up to international standards. And if you have the real research skills, I mean the basic ones, how to work with the data, how to publish, how to do literature review. I mean, it sounds very basic, but unfortunately, people don't know how to do it. A friend of mine, he just defended his PhD, okay? And he has a more scientific, I mean, the articles in the scope of journals than his supervisor, okay? And his supervisor so happy to have my friend as a supervisee, because supervisors H index is now growing because my friend's articles are being cited very well, okay? So, I mean, can you imagine the situation? You can see the situation right now. So that's why if you guys want to come back, the universities, the leadership at the university will be happy to see you, happy to, hire you, but you should be able to, deliver the articles, deliver the research projects, able to apply to the research, the ministry calls, and do the high quality stuff. But of course, I mean, the communication is key. You should be very humble. You should be able to communicate to people. Unfortunately, the senior people, the senior researchers may not be very happy. Okay, I mean the leadership are happy, but the faculty members, the colleagues, the senior folks, they may not be very happy to see you around. okay? Because compared to you, the other will be able to see that they are not really very competent or not good enough according to international standards. So that's why you should be able to communicate to folks, make the connections, relationships, show your courtesy, respect. And this, I mean, this is very important in Kazakhstan. If you happen to come, you never say person by name, you say Aga or Mr., you say, okay, I mean, this is basic stuff. But as far as I know, when you abroad, you forget about these small things, but they're very important. Sometimes these relationships may change the destiny of the people. I mean,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Serik, this is very basic stuff. I mean, you do the research, you succeed, but you also should not forget the emotional intelligence and the cultural things that we have here. Thank you.
Thank you, Kwanish, for sharing these valuable insights. Unfortunately, because we are limited in time, I would like to invite all of you, the speakers and our audience, to participate in the Q&A session. We have a couple of questions ready, and I encourage everyone to share more questions in the chat, and we'll address them shortly. Let's start with the first question. Dr. Saparbaev, you mentioned that you have a really diverse connections established with laboratories in Kazakhstan. Is it purely the result of networking? Could you please share more insight about how to make these first steps to establish these strong and fruitful connections?
First, it's you need to visit Kazakhstan at regular basis, because I visit Kazakhstan especially with my family, and I always, when I visit Kazakhstan, I visited my university, and also when I was in Astana, I visited also Eurasian University, and I contacted always people I knew before. So I installed contact, and I had very good relationship with local Kazakh scientists who already established Kazakh scientists who at that time fight to survive. You see, it was very difficult condition in beginning of 2000 to do science. So I kept this connection, I helped them, and sometimes they visited my laboratory, and step by step, you see, at the end, I have cumulative results. So you wouldn't get anything done in 1 year or in 5 years, nothing. You see, it's 20 years of work to have, as you see in my photos, you see, and also chances sometimes, like creation of NCB offered a big chance to get for 3 years free Kazakh scientists, you see. And opening of Nazarbayev University also created a huge opportunity. There is a question about internship. It's, you see, are any changes already happened anticipating the requirement for tenure job? You see, people say that internship experience is getting hyped now than the number of publications. You see, look, it's good to have, of course, publication, but now it's appreciated if you, I'm talking about academia. Academia is specific. You see, academia is very conservative stuff. When you go startup and internship, it's different things. With this, I don't have much experience. So publications still a solid base, but what is important in addition to publication, try to obtain the grants, contracts, writing small project, trying to find finance. This is very strongly appreciated nowadays in Europe and in America and Japan, I guess. It's very important to write project and get financing. And you see here in West, there is a lot of charities foundation. So they are open to finance. You see a study which is scientific project which targeted to resolve health problem or other, and you can get some financing from this international financing. This is really appreciated in your scientific career, able to get financing. Even if you have top publication, if you manage to get some financing for your project, it's even, it's even highest mark of your success, you see? Okay. Any other question?
Thank
Quick,
you.
quick
Thank
comment
you.
to Murat. I think it's very important on your question. So he established the filter in Kazakhstan. So the connections that sending students that already been selected. And I think that's a good way to do this science because you don't accidentally selecting students and sending, but you have a person there that you believe and that person sending to them. I think this way is amazing that Murat.
But it's good advantage of Europe. You see, sometimes in Almaty we say, "Are you living in Kaskilen?" Because they see me often. they don't believe that I live in Paris because it's very easy to travel. Very easy to travel.
I also would like to jump in. So the question Murat just answered, it's about like full-time 10-year job. The question doesn't contain like only foreign countries, it's also contain Kazakhstan. So maybe Kwanish could tell us like when our PhD students or postgraduates say would like to apply to position in Kazakhstan. So which is the most important? Is it like number of publication or some other experience is more important?
Thank you, Serik. Yes, it varies based on varies across the universities. And some of universities have a clear number of publications they require as a requirement for the positions. For example, Nazarbayev University, they require at least 1 or 2 good articles if you want to apply for the assistant professor, like entry-level professorship degree position. Others are more or less flexible. For instance, Nazarbayev University or Sedu University, since they're private universities, they make their own decisions and they approve their own academic policies. I mean, as all universities, so that's why they're more flexible in this regard. But public universities are more conservative in this regard, and they may have. So that's why, I mean, if someone looking for opportunities, they should get in touch with the university, find out what are the requirements, and then apply. But of course, I mean, many of those informations are not published or may not be published anywhere. So that's why it's important to have connections, try to somehow in person get in touch with the people. And but in Kazakhstan, universities now have more academic freedom in their decisions and in hiring as well. So that's why they're more or less flexible, and then they depends on the people, depends on the qualifications. They may offer like assistant professorship, associate professorship, or full professorship, or different kind of professorships, like professor of teaching, professor of practice, and then like visiting professor. And I mean, there are all other opportunities as well.
Thank you, Anush, for sharing. We have a really important question from the chat that is close to the heart of many researchers that are studying abroad or working abroad and considering returning home into Kazakhstan. The question is, it is clear what benefits universities from researchers that come home to Kazakhstan. However, what are the benefits, tangible and intangible, can the country offer to those who return? This is the question we would like to address to anyone, to Dr. Murat Saparbaev, Dr. Roussy Ergaliyev, or Dr. Serik Meirmanov.
There is a question. Let's say there is a talented researcher doing postdoc at Stanford with multiple PABs. She likely to get a faculty job abroad, establish a lab. Why would that person return to Kazakhstan beyond patriotism? So one of the example, let's take Dost Sarbasov. If you search on Google, he's now occupied is a chief of department. I think director of the life science department. I think in Nazarbayev University. He spent, I think, 20 years or more in US. He was working. He was associate professor in MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston. So he quit the job and returned to Nazarbayev University as a full professor. You see, it's a talented scientist in cancer research field, yes. And he returned to Kazakhstan, and thanks to Nazarbayev University, they offered them nice position. And actually,
let's discuss the benefits. What the benefits could the young researchers or seasoned researchers get from going back to Kazakhstan to do some research?
This is a more difficult question. Yeah, you know, in NCB, everybody came back and they is taught, but of course, it's not easy to do high-level science in Kazakhstan. This is a problem. You can do science in Kazakhstan. You can create a solid laboratory, and you stay at Kazakhstan. You can do also career in Kazakhstan, but still, if you want to compete at high level, you see. Still, it's of course either you collaborate with somebody like me, or you go and do career in North America like Dos Saparbaev, and then maybe later on you can return. You see, and try to with your position and financing to do the same things and try to compete with other. Still, conditions in Kazakhstan are not. It's not very easy to do science and to buy materials, reagents, to travel, and it's also.
Thank you for sharing the honest kind of impression you get as a researcher doing the work outside of Kazakhstan. We have one person raising hand, which is Dana Alina. Let's hear a question.
It's not a question. I wanted to jump in this discussion about the benefits of returning to Kazakhstan and how to be a researcher and what someone can gain other than by patriotic feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I think that what we have here is, let's say, in Kazakhstan, there are many things that are not represented yet. And if you come from some niche field and you know how to do research, or you will learn how to apply for grants at this conference, for example, then you have more space to realize your projects. Because, well, you will be the only one representative, for example, in this field. And you can, like, yes, there are constraints, but there are constraints everywhere, right? Yes, maybe you don't have the lab yet, but you can collaborate, you come, you bring your collaborations. So I think what can be seen as a positive side is having this space to grow. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dana.
I can also, I can share some thoughts. You know, guys, definitely, if you would like to have a good financial benefits, you should come as like a Dos Saparbaev researcher, okay? Having a real solid background, tons of publications, and then try to get into Nazarbayev University. This is the only place where you can now be paid at the international level and feel yourself home and safe. Okay, the other places are not like that. And you should be more humble and, you know, manage your expectations when you come to Kazakhstan first, because nobody knows you. You have no background. You have no connections. And as Mr. Murat said, and Dana also said, that you start, you know, making the environment, you apply to the researcher, the ministry calls and other calls. And then as you have this, you know, projects, then you can have a good financial contribution, actually, because now I know researchers who receive like real up to 2-3 million tenge. I mean, for Kazakhstan, it's quite good money to feel yourself as a like a decent person of community. But it needs time. So that's why when my young junior colleagues ask me I suggest them to stay abroad and do the research career, and then come when they feel themselves ready to come, or they should come immediately after that and try to, you know, make a research career in Kazakhstan. But definitely I agree with Mr. Murat that if there is no like lab or any like opportunities, there doesn't make sense to come home, okay? Because we don't have those labs. Even those Saparbaev, I mean, those high level people, they still struggle because we don't have those opportunities as abroad. But if you're social science, okay, you don't need real lab. I mean, it's okay. You can come here. You need on the laptop, and you need this all you need. Okay, so I mean, depends on the specialty, depends on research interest, and depends on your overall life goals as well, I think. But there are not many like benefits, material, like financial benefits if you're just junior researcher. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Serik, do you want to add something, or
I would like to address last question, which in a chat.
Sure, what's that?
Yes, thank you, Aya. Well, it's very good comment by Aliya Sarsenbayeva that, well, it's good to initiate like something like academic diaspora policy in Kazakhstan. Yes, I think it's a very good idea. And actually, today's event, which we organize, it's somehow related to this comment, because it was our initiative to collaborate. It's our association of AGIST, Kazakhstan Association of Scientists and Technology, have a joint event with the North America Association of PhD. I think it's the first time when scientists decided to communicate and organize something new. I think this platform is very unique to join all scientists of Kazakhstan, scientists which look around. All of you are now anywhere in the world, and we are now talking and trying to find a common solution. There is a patriotism, of course. There is a goodwill, and there is a, like, of course, enthusiasm to promote your own future. So I think that this sort of meeting in future would help maybe some of you to find your future career. So, and first of all, I also would like to thank, because we are coming to the end, I would like to thank the organizers of today's meeting, Association of North America PhD students. I would like to thank Aya Izbulatova. She's a very great organizer. She, well, spent a lot of time to help to organize this meeting. Of course, to Galamjan, who always our very good, great support for these events. And of course, our dear guests, Murat Saparbaev and Kuan Shergaliyev. Look, these two personalities, they are very famous in their fields. And why they are here? Because I believe because they would like to support all of you, your future, to be related to Kazakhstan, and that your research would also somehow, well, provide some positive inputs in the future. Yes, it's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I would like to thank again KAPNA team for organizing this conference and offering us a platform to discuss the challenges and achievements in the field of science academic landscape. I would like to thank our audience for your active participation. Your questions, your insights make this discussion more meaningful and impactful. And finally, let's continue to collaborate, innovate, and create opportunities for a brighter future in Kazakhstan's academic and industrial landscape. Enjoy the rest of the conference, and we see you in the next meeting.
Yes, thank you so much. You know, I'm speaking on behalf of KAPNA here to all the presenters and Aya for leading the conversation. It was a pleasure to hear from, you know, established researchers and people who are actually working in Kazakhstan or with Kazakhstani researchers. As I mentioned, we have 3 more sessions coming up, and you can find the link for the next session in the chat and in the email that we shared with you. So looking forward to seeing you there or anywhere, you know, in person or virtually in the future. So thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Bye.